everyone. Welcome back. Is your energy draining? Do you just not understand how you are exhausted all the time and why it is difficult for you to get through a day? You just feel drained for no reason? Well, we're here to help you unplug and get back your energy. Welcome to Empowerment Through Intuition. I'm Nora Truscello, two-time best-selling author and international speaker, and my partner over in New Jersey is...
Hi, I'm Christine Gurganus with Conversations with Chris, and I am a psychic and medium, a healer, and a teacher. Hi, guys. How are you?
So great that you guys all joined us. So please feel free to jump up and put things in the chat. This is a new program for us, so let's have some fun. You can ask a question. Just click the button and put the question in, and we will get to it. Or you can put it in the feed here on this program. If you are not in the webinar, we will not be able to actually see your feed. That's why we encouraged people to sign up through the webinar. But I want to jump right in. I know some of you guys are online. Carla, thank you. And there's quite a few other people here too. Let's see, we already have Aaron's on, Laurie's on, Joy.
They don't send any hearts, nor what's
Margie,
this?
They can't do that in this program. And Elizabeth, thank you guys. Melinda, she's got a hi in there, so hello. So that's awesome. Thank you, sweetie.
Well, everybody has to send their city and state. Come on, guys.
Yeah. State if you want Chris and I to come out to your area in September. We are still going to calculate that. Margie, hi.
Margie.
Great. Now, you guys, Round Rock, Texas. Ooh, that means there's more than one Texas person pushing for us. I always wanted to go there. Also, for the fun of it, we have a poll question on the bottom. Should Chris physically be next to me when we do these shows, or should she do it remotely from home? I think Chris has been voting herself home. If you're watching us right now on Facebook and you can't figure out why you can't comment, just hit the link that I put in the Facebook feed above, and you'll be able to join us and ask questions and comment with us. Hi, little mommy. Also, let's get right to our topic. Do you find most of your energy drains due to family emotional issues, friends issues, or incarnated spirits? I mean, that is a possibility too, but really what causes it most of the time for you? So throw in a question there, give us some answers, let us know what's going on, guys. And I'm not getting any questions yet, so should we just start talking about the subject?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Now, guys, leaky energy comes in a lot of different ways. What's leaky energy? Think of you walking along and pretending you got a really big diaper on, like a sumo wrestler. And that's on the outside of your pants. And it's leaking energy, and you're leaving a little trail of neon green behind you. And it's not gas, it's energy. And you can leave it from your head, your butt, your back, your front, wherever. I just like the sumo wrestler kind of theory. Big man, big diaper, gotta laugh. Hi, Erin. So you think about, how does energy leak? Do we have holes in us that nobody told us about besides our eyes and our ears and our mouth and other various little parts? No, we have energy cords. We started to talk about this last week with Elena about it's like a big Charlotte's Web, and we're walking through these unseen webs and we don't know it, and they're causing cords to attach emotionally. A lot of emotional energy, like little darts coming in at us when we're dealing with emotions from friends and family and ideas that we keep worrying about. It could be mental if we're worrying about a certain subject or a certain process over and over again, and we're leaving a piece of us literally go. And it's just leaking out the side of our head because we're worrying all the time. So you're basically having to constantly figure out how to regroup your energy. And we talked about how to do it with different manifestations of energy medicine and clearing and meditation and grounding. But we also want to talk about the emotional, the sexual, different ways you can leave energy behind. And it's knowingly and unknowingly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some of us do it and we just like, yeah, okay, that was fun. That was my 5 minutes of like, So emotionally, you could be as simple as a roller coaster ride. It could be, you know, when somebody comes up and goes, boom, and your whole energy goes, whoosh, comes back down. You know, I always tell people don't do that because you're messing with the spirit. The spirit's going up and it's shaking back down. It's like just a total rattle. So what you might want to do is think about the emotional cords that if somebody's coming in from out of town, whether they be a family member or a boss or a coworker that you haven't seen, that isn't always easy to deal with, and you start getting rattled emotionally because you're like, oh God, now I got to deal with them.
Mm-hmm.
I got to dress up because the boss is coming in from, you know, Pennsylvania, and I got to look professional, and I got to make sure all my desk and all my clutter's under control. You know, things like that, things that bring us outside of our normal routine. That can cause a physical leak because we're always trying to be so perfect and in line, and we're not able to breathe and relax, and our energy isn't breathing and relaxing. And if we're not breathing and relaxing, we're not meditating, we're not grounding, and we sure as hell aren't sleeping. See?
Chris is a fine example of energy drained right now. She's going through a whole bunch of stuff at home, and I mean, it's not just your physical stuff. So we know you guys get it. And I love this question Marge put up. In the workplace, I take on other people's energy, anger, sadness, etc. How do I manage them without taking in their emotions? It's more than just taking it in. It's you are leaving a piece of yourself. When you're taking in, you're leaving. It's a fair exchange.
Thank you.
So you want to, there's several techniques. We're going to cover at least 3 techniques this evening about how to disconnect. So you're not taking on their emotions and you're not leaving a piece of yourself behind. One of them, my most favorite one, is just a simple energy technique, and you use it in your mind. And it's, I love you. I thank you. I disconnect my energy from you. And then while you're saying it, see in your mind's eye yourself just like turning a hose, like you're disconnecting a hose, and you're bringing back your energy. You're disconnecting with love. You can't disconnect with anger or frustration. So you do have to bring up love and compassion to be able to do it energetically. That's one way. We're not going to jump into all the ways right away, because then you guys would have no reason to listen to us.
Well, I just want to add in Nora's little
Go ahead.
sermon there. She does a little bit different than I do. I love you, I thank you, I pray for you, and I forgive you. And then I unhook and disengage my energy from you. And I say that in my head really loudly in that format. I love you, I thank you, I pray for you, and I forgive you, and I disconnect my energy from you. So you're praying and you're forgiving them and you're sending them with love. And it doesn't have to be a specific thing you're forgiving them for. It could just be for pissing you off, for not being what you thought they should have been at that time, in that moment in space and time.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're sending out that kind of peace and love and joy, nothing can harm you. Because remember what we always tell you, where there's light, there cannot be darkness at the same time. It's just physically unable to happen. You got your yin, you got your yang. So the stronger you make your love and the deeper it is, and you have to really mean it, guys. You can't just say the words.
Right.
You have to, if you can't say it to that person, even in your head, bring the love and the compassion from God. Think about God and just say the words then. because as long as your heart's engaged, it'll all fire. It really will. It'll work. Hi, Elena. Hi, Denise.
Aaron says, how do I get my question? I can't get this pop-up to work. If you hit ask a question on the bottom, you can actually
say something nice.
Yeah, no, to the left of that, to the left of say something nice, should say ask a question. And if you click that, you should be able to click another button that says ask a question. And the nice part about this is if you ask a question there, I mean, we're going to answer your questions even in the feed, guys. But if you put a question there, we're able to mark it on the film. So if you ever want to go back, you don't have to find it. You can just click your question and the video goes right to it. So kind of cool. I want to go back though to Margie. So how do I manage them without taking in their emotions? I think that was a really important question. Do you want to address it? Because I'll go on for hours.
What I would do personally, Margie, is I would center my energy first. I would clear my energy, and then I would fill up with the Holy Spirit, which is the golden light, and then the compassion of Christ, which is the pink. And I would just fill it, and I'd push my bubble out until I was bigger than the whole block. And when you're that loving and you're sending out that kind of wattage and you're bringing it in from God, because then it's not your heart chakra, it's God's heart chakra. You don't get exhausted and you're just spreading the love. And that way it will encase them and they won't necessarily be able to stick to you.
I always say it transmutes the energy. So like a harsh energy is coming towards you, but when it's God's energy moving out from you, it literally transmutes it. So we're going to say darkness, even though it's not darkness as in evil, it's just darkness as in anger, upset. And it's confronting light. Well, the light always wins over darkness. So it just transmutes it. You might feel that the person's angry, but you're not going to feel the anger.
You're not going to feel like a stabbing feeling. You'll just feel like, they're pissed off. Oh, well, they'll get mad. They get glad. Okay, I'll say a prayer for them. Bye-bye.
And this is
just let it roll.
The technique Chris is talking about is an awesome technique to use all the time. Every time you think of it, just pull it in, move it out, pull it in, move it out, even if nothing is bad going on. Even if your baby's 1-year-old birthday party, pull it in, send it out, because you're a channel then of God's love and you're just lightening up the whole world, and it's helpful. It's beautiful. And I'm
doing it a lot when I drive. I find it because people are just getting rude out there.
And I forced myself, literally, like kept bringing my attention to it for years till it became a habit. And then I noticed in the last couple of years, I've kind of slacked off, and I'm like, gosh, I need to really push that and start doing that again, because it really makes a big difference. So I hope that's helpful.
Sarah's got a really important question about how does she manage her own energy when she's in a nervous business situation and not go blank.
Come on, I tend to go blank, and I almost leave out my body and lose all my energy. Talking to successful people, their energy can be so strong you lose your successful. I get it, sure. I get that. It can be overwhelming. What would you suggest for us, Chris? I mean, definitely I would be doing the channeling thing, but I think there's a few other techniques.
I do a lot of cheating when this is coming up. I'm sorry, Sarah. You guys got to understand the angels and we're best buds.
Yeah, so she gets all the input.
I would bring in my buddies and I'd be saying, come on, boys, ladies and gentlemen, we got to buffer this. This is what I need to come out of this conversation. However you want to make this happen, it needs to be it needs to come out successfully, and I need this as the bottom line. This is what I want at the end of 5 minutes or however long, because some people sit there and talk to you for an hour and they still won't land the airplane. So you tell the angels, come on, I want to land the airplane in 10 minutes. I want to get in, make success, and get out of Dodge, and set up an appointment for later on down the road. We'll sign the papers or do whatever has to be done. Quick and easy.
I love what Chris does, what Chris says, because it's imperative, even in when you're just praying, but especially walking into a meeting that is highly charged and intimidating. I don't go anywhere without kind of doing what Chris is saying. I have intentions for everything. I have intentions before I get on these shows. I have intentions when I'm going to somebody else's event. What is my intent that I want to get out of it? When I would have to go to those highly charged business type of meetings, my intent was specific, that I would accomplish ABC. I would make sure that this is understood. Boom, boom, boom. Exactly what Chris is saying. So this evening, before that tomorrow morning phone call, in 2 sentences, no more than that, 2 sentences, be specific as to the way you want to be, the way you will be. I will be heard, understood, appreciated, and powerful. Boom. And then just keep bringing in God and sending it out, and know that that's who you are. Keep telling yourself. And you might hear the other part of you saying, yeah, right, who you getting? Just keep telling yourself. It will happen.
And if you need help and you feel like you're not being heard, in your head, just think, Archangel Gabriel, this is not working. Any communication help, come hook me up. And all of a sudden they'll turn to you and they'll go, oh, is this what you mean? And you'll be like, okay, they got hit with the stupid stick because now they're finally on my page. Oh, yes, that's what I meant.
Good job,
I'm
Dave.
sorry.
I just have to say good job to Dave, because he says, I'm finally here.
And Pam's here too.
Yeah, oh my gosh, you guys are awesome the way you're all doing this program. Oh my gosh, we got 6 questions. Let me get to our questions here and let's see what's going on.
Pam wants to know how to get rid of worry energy first, so let's do that. That's really easy. Worry energy basically is what they tell us is worrying is prayer in reverse. So just smudge, cleanse, clear it, clap your hands, say some prayers, make happy noises, whatever you got to do, because worry is just fear. Fear is just negativity. Just turn it around, flip it. Bring in something colorful, play some happy music, watch a funny show. And just know that God doesn't make mistakes. He really doesn't.
Shauna, I can see you, honey. You were definitely on the feed. You were one of the first ones to respond. So you are on Shauna. When separating, this is from Carla. When separating the energy, is it like being the third person in a 2-person conversation? Wow, you know what? I never thought of it that way. But yeah, because there's the I am, the spirit part of you that is controlling what the me human is doing at any given time. So I like that. I think that's a really interesting way to put it. But yes, it's almost like you are surrendering to your higher self, which is ultimately in control anyway. And that is just a part of you, but distinct from your humanness. It's your beingness.
And we all do it. I mean, we all do it. It's not going to ever change. It's just what Nora says. We're just human. But as long as we recognize that we're human and that it's just us being crazy little peons and helpful Hannahs, you know, I always tell God, I just let me help you here. And I keep thinking, and I hear the angels going, he's God. He doesn't need your help. Just a little helpful. No, go sit down. Okay, I'll sit over here and I'll worry. That's not helpful either. Okay.
Okay. I did not mark her question right. I'm sorry. Okay, I think I'm lost in space. Here, can anyone see me? Oh, that's Shauna. You're not lost, honey. We really do see you. You're in the feed. Go to the right where it says, say something nice. Okay, you guys are putting feed stuff in where the questions go. I don't know if you see me. All right, so most of the questions were just comments. We do see you. We're just not naming everybody like we usually do because we can't seem to control it. It's going much faster. We'll get used to this. So I put a question and somebody else asked for it to be answered. Do you find your energy drains when you're around certain people? Absolutely.
Yes, they're called vampires.
Yeah, there's a particular person that I've been having a lot of trouble with, and my energy would just like, boom, just sink right down very quickly. And I know all the proper things to do. And I still was having trouble. And I'm like, I am emotionally connected to this person. I must have left something with them because I don't even work with the person. I'm not, but I'm like so drained when I'm near them. So I went to my friend who's an energy practitioner, Barbara Felton. I know I mentioned her before. And she said to use the technique, I love you, I thank you, I'm sorry, I love you, I release my energy from you. No matter what I did, I couldn't get the words out because I really am not crazy about this person who makes my energy go down. I mean, how many of us, most of these people who make our energies go down, we're not nuts about. So for us to say, oh, please forgive me, it's like, So.
Where I pray for you.
Right, I pray for you. Yeah, right. Okay. So there's a couple ways around that. One is the Ho'oponopono, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But we realized that this particular person was somebody who's been in my lives, and that it wasn't anything she did in this lifetime that triggers this drain. It's actually from a past life. And you know what? It made it a lot easier for me to just forgive and clear that line. So when you're forgiving a person and you're really letting go and you're really disconnecting, you're disconnecting all the past lives and future lives. So you're doing a huge service, not just for yourself, but also for that person. I had to throw that out there.
Well, we got to talk about the tribe theory.
Yes,
the past life.
Because that's all about this. Yeah.
Because that's where this all comes in, guys. The tribe theory, you'll hear it, different people talk about it. Wayne Dyer used the analogy like life was a trolley car. And you just went along and people got on and people got off. But sometimes other people that got off got back on later on. So the tribe theory is, whether you know it or not, the people that you get around you, whether they're your family or your best friends or your bosses, they're usually part of your tribe because you're going to see similarities. Like Nora's definitely part of my tribe because you'll see education, experience, you'll have similar work histories, similar personal life histories. You'll have your families will kind of align in a strange, odd way. And you'll just
prime example of that.
Well, I'm part Tayun now because her father said so.
So you're really
have to work on my Tayun-ness every once in a while. So anyhow, that's like you'll find either friends or you'll find like the guys say it's my brother from another mother, and they're really saying, that's just somebody that could be a brother to me if I didn't know any different. They're saying that's part of my tribe. These are the people, these are the group that make me happy. These are my core people. And sometimes you can have core people that aren't so happy, like bosses, or people that kind of, like Nora was saying, that have been there for a long time, but you're like, gag me, I don't want to be near them. Could you send them to another planet, please? Anywhere in the universe is great as long as it's not where I'm at. And whether it's a really strong like or dislike, you're going to find out that there were past lives there. And that once the healing has begun, and it happens in a lot of marriages, Nora and I were talking earlier, relationships and marriages that just fall apart because they're not hostile, they just grow apart. And a lot of times it's whatever the issue was, it was healed. And it was healed so well that they're not mad at each other. They just can't live together. They don't wish to live together. They go find other lovers. Things of that nature. And there's also another thing when you're having a lot of sexual, let's call it sexual relationships, whether you're not married for 50 years like Nora, or, you go through, Huh?
Did you say not married? I'm married.
I know. I said, but if you're not married like Nora is for like
Oh,
50
sorry.
years,
Sorry.
you know, for people that are still in dating or they had a divorce and they're back in the dating and they're in and out of relationships and things like that, you give a piece of yourself to every relationship, whether it's emotional or sexual or physical. And you have to know how to go back and get those pieces all back. And sometimes the person was only there for a long weekend and you don't even remember who they are. And you're like, I don't even know what his name was.
Right.
And you're like, I was so drunk, I didn't even know what the heck it was. And you're like, God, whatever happened, can you clue me in? Can we just get the pieces back?
Exactly. Even though it's a one-night stand, you are leaving a piece of yourself behind. It's not just an emotional love piece for those serious relationships. Those one-night stands, you leave a piece of yourself behind.
And they count, people.
Yeah, we're not preaching to you to tell you not to fool around. We're just telling you need to retrieve those pieces. So,
do you want to talk to them about how to retrieve them?
The way I understand it is to actually bring that person forward in your mind. Now, it's really important to be in a quiet, meditative, prayerful state. Okay. You want to bring that person forward. Now, mind you, one night stand in Mexico on a drunken rage. You have no idea who this person is. So you ask God, you ask your guardian angel, bring forth the spirit of this person. You tell them, I am sorry for interfering in any way in your life, because your piece is there and his piece is with you, or her piece is with you. So you got to give back their piece. So it's, I'm sorry I interfered, whether, knowingly or unknowingly, consciously or unconsciously. Please accept my apology. I offer you back that which you left with me, and I accept that which I've left with you, and I leave you with love. And you just pull yourself back in while you're releasing that person. You'll feel the energy shifting. If you're sensitive to energy, if you're not, imagine it, because it's happening. And that's all it takes. It's that simple, but you've just released that person. The fact that you occasionally have thoughts of these other people that you haven't thought about for 40 years or something is a sign that you need to do that. There's a piece of you still attached to that.
And that helps if you can pull back, even if you never did it before and you've never heard about it. You can do more than one person at a time in a meditative state. You can just say to God, listen, all the ones I can't remember, let's just put them in a corral, Father, because I'm really not sure. There are some wild nights out there. So how about we do all that and we'll get all my pieces back. And just tell them I'm really sorry that I don't remember who they are or where it happened or how it happened. So,
right.
Please forgive me. Here you go.
I would, though, call up a spirit. I would ask that spirit comes forward. See, Chris and I are psychic mediums. I mean, we all are to a degree, because our spirits are all at a level as our higher selves are communicating. So you can call forth anyone. You can call forth somebody who's passed. Hence, that's what Chris is really great at doing. You could call forth somebody who hasn't been born yet. You can call forth your neighbor who's still alive and have communication. So what we're saying is totally happening all the time anyway. I want to hit some of these questions, if I may. So, Aaron, what do you say when the people you love overdraw you? How do you say no? No. 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 Oh, thank you for thinking of asking me, but no. And don't give a reason. Now, this has nothing to do with intuition, guys. This is just straightforward, common sense how to do it. If you say, no, I don't have the time, they'll come back with something. No, I don't have the money, they'll come back with something. But if you say, thanks for asking, but no, they can't come back with something except, well, why? No particular reason, just no. And walk away. But Chris might have something else to offer.
I
because
just
we are
usually
looking
tell
for
because
energy.
my name is Mom, and I said no because it usually occurs with my children,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll whine, but that's okay. Adults whine too. You just give them the
Absolutely.
love, and you just tell them you love them. I'm sorry, but the answer's no.
I know I'm pretty sure I've mentioned landmark education. Landmark education is this phenomenal program. If you want to look it up online, and they have the forum, and you might see that they're a brainwashing company and all this other stuff. They're not. They're highly powerful way of communicating. Well, in one of their most advanced courses, you literally spent the day trying to get your partner to accept a strawberry, an imaginary strawberry. And you sit there and you say, would you like this beautiful, delicious strawberry? And it was your partner's job to just say no. Now you took turns. So you learned to say no and give no reason for the longest time. So you would get really comfortable at it. It is just, you're not going to be comfortable saying no. Be uncomfortable, but just say no. All right, let's see. Nora. Oh, I love this one. Thank you, Pamela. Nora, I feel that since the morning meditations, I've had an easier time with people and dealing with others. Isn't it amazing? And what do? We meditate maybe 8.5 of the 10 minutes. It doesn't take much, guys. If you can't join the morning meditation, watch the repeats or just do your own. Chris and I talk about meditating all the time. It is a great way to just control your own energy. So you're not as inclined to be dropping it here, dropping it there, leaving it over here, because you're not getting emotionally tied in. So thank you. Thank you for being a witness to that. Should we take another question or take a look at the feed? Because we got a few questions and we got some in the feed also.
Let's get the questions done.
Okay. Cherish. Whenever I go to work, I feel people's emotions, and some are angry, sad, and it's really overwhelming. How can I break away from their energy? I would absolutely do what Chris said and what we were focusing on about bringing in the energy. Another way to break away is to, before walking in, say a prayer of protection. The St. Michael's prayer is great, and see him or see his legions, his angels around you, and just be willing to be a channel of love and not getting involved. It takes effort, guys. It takes effort not to get sucked into some of these conversations. Just like it takes effort to say no, and not give a reason. But with practice, it gets easier. And then you'll notice, wow, that really wasn't so hard. And it gets easier and easier. But you
know what you can do?
Great.
Is if you're having this problem at work, what I tell some of my clients to do, besides the pink light and the pulling and pushing of it out, is basically what you want to do is put a little sticky on your dashboard or somewhere in your car that says no drama zone. And before you get out of the car, you got to remember to put your little sign, your imaginary sign over your head, no drama zone. And then you say your St. Michael prayer, and you're all set and ready to go. You breathe in your pink, you make a big, huge bubble. Okay, boys, let's go. Off to work we go. We're going to have a really good day today.
I love it. I absolutely love
people
that.
People stand there and they'll go, and they were going to say something to you, and they can't even think of what they're going to say to you. And you just walk away looking at them like, what is wrong with them?
Excellent.
I've had clients tell me that it really works.
Excellent.
It's your intent. If you put the intent out in front of you, they will not come near you.
I can't agree with Chris more. Everything is your intent, guys. This is great. Carla, thank you for asking this. She put tribe and arrowed across to kindred spirits, ? So, yeah, when we use jargon that you guys don't understand, just throw it up there and say, huh? So that we make sure we make it clear. A tribe. You want to explain it since you gave that example? Tribe
Sure.
and kindred experience.
Tribe are kindred spirits. They're your friends. Sometimes they're your family, and sometimes they aren't. It's the people that you mesh with, and you see that your life is constantly crossing paths with, and that you feel like you have a connection with. And you may feel that there's past life ties there, and they might have been over and over again. And some of these people might come in and out of your life like a weave. You know, they might come in, might stay for a little while, and then they might go out, and they might move away, and then they might come back in later. The kindred spirits, yeah, because like the guys talk and they say, you know, this is my buddy from another mother, my brother from another mother. How many times do I hear that from the guys? Nora and I, you know, our families, if you look at them, have so many similarities, it's not even funny. And you'll find these with the close people around you. And you'll start to draw the same types of people in. And whether it be spiritual or emotional or psychic, you're going to have a real foundation of things that you share. And it might be very different. It might be gardening. It might be psychic. It might be crystals. It might be meditation. It might be prayer. You know, it's always going to be a little bit different with each person because it's like a kaleidoscope. Sometimes it keeps changing. Like some of our friends that Nora's introduced me that were her lifelong friends. And I love playing with them. Why? Because they have a lot of the same interests. You know, we have this one friend that's Jewish by, you know, upbringing, but she prays better than most Catholics. And, and some people have a hard time with that. They're like, but she's Jewish. And I said, we're working out on the other side because she's got more than one faith going on in that household. We'll just let it be. A prayer's a prayer. That's the way I look at it. So, yes, they are kindred spirits. Yes, they are people that you might have spent past lives with. And yes, they are people that may come or they might stay in your life, but then they might go if the past life tie is healed and dealt with.
Right. Excellent. Okay. Erin threw up a subject that we might want to talk about for another show. If you have a subject that you think you would like us to discuss, put it up there. Whoever gets the most votes will be the one we most likely do next week. And that will save us trying to figure out what to do. So go for it, guys. I did want to say, Melinda, send compassion, correct? Yes. Yes. We kind of skipped over you by accident when we were talking about the answer. But yeah, send compassion, send understanding, be empathetic, but don't be empathic. Empathetic is you can understand and relate to. Empathic, you're feeling it and absorbing it and you're owning it. Not a good way to be. And I mean, you can't help it sometimes. Some people are so empathic. It comes with the more psychic you get, the more empathic you get. So you really have to learn to balance it, you know, because otherwise you'll be a complete mess in no time at all. Okay, let's see who else we have. Guys, there are so many of you. I just want to say hello, 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 hello. I think we have more people on this show than we've ever had on Facebook. This is so much fun. Thank you for joining us. And real quick, you want an appointment with Chris for a reading? ChrisGurganus.com. If you want to know anything.
No, it's ChristineGurganus.com.
I'm sorry. Also, you could find it on Facebook and then just link to her. Also, if you want Chris and I to come out and do a show like we did in Philly, I need your city and state, 1 vote per show, and whoever has the most, Chris and I will go out there in September. Unless we get really good at these webinars, then we just might say, okay, we're going to electronically go. I don't know. We're trying to figure it out.
We can't do a gallery read electronically.
Yeah, no, that's pushing it. Gallery read electronically. So if you want us there, you want us to gallery read, we're happy to do it, whoever has the most city and states. So can I get my heart back? This is Erin. Dawn. The only problem with this thing, guys, is it jumps around. Can I get my heart back from the man who broke it? Absolutely, the same way that you would get back the sexual connection that you left behind. Because even though he broke your heart, there's a part of him that's still stuck on you and a part of you still stuck on him. So again, in a quiet meditative state, in a prayerful way, you bring forth his spirit, you call forth his spirit, and you make sure you're protected. You make sure you say a prayer of protection ahead of time. You apologize and say, for that which I've held on to, I give back to you, and I welcome back that which you have of mine. And just again, feel the exchange. Erin, you'll feel it. So it's powerful. It's very powerful. Do you want to add anything to that, Chris?
Nope, you did a good job.
All these things, guys, will restore your energy. I mean, if you're hanging on to a broken heart, watch how much energy you have when you release that and you accept in just love and joy again. You got back that little piece. Imagine, imagine a car, and you have two cars, both have the same amount of gasoline. They're both going to go for a long ride, but one has a leak. I mean, the one with the leak is not going to make it. It's going to struggle, especially when it has to face something tough and go uphill. It's going to putter because it's leaving its energy behind, its fuel behind. Now, if it can suck that fuel back up, it's going to be shooting right up those hills and living life again. So the nice part is we're not cars. We can suck back in our energy and bring it back to us to be strong again. So all of these techniques work. But we didn't mention all of them. So which ones did we leave out, Chris, to make sure we get them all in?
Using a shaman, energy medicine practitioner, confession. You like the confession for the Catholics. Right. I mean, these are different ways you guys can pick up your emotional pieces.
Elena Coloroco, she's actually in the feed, guys. She says, Chris, I don't see you. I hear you. Okay. I'm not sure why, but Elena is a great person. If you take down her name, put it in Facebook, you would probably be able to message her. She's an awesome.
Well, you can go on my ChristineGurganus.com and look under resources. Elena and Barbara are both there.
Right.
They're both listed.
Now, these are people in our area, guys, as far as Texas and Ohio and you other wonderful people out in California and even Hawaii. I'm sorry, I don't know anyone in your areas. But
they've got shamans all over Hawaii and California.
Oh, I'm sure.
And Donna Eaton's home is in California.
And if you find...
So if they can't find an energy medicine specialist, just go see Donna and tell her, hi, Nora sent me.
If you want, and if you find somebody you really like, please let the other people in the group know by putting it in the feed. I mean, I have no trouble plugging people when you know they're good. I trust you guys. Let's tell each other. I mean, we're a community of friends here, and we need to rely on each other to learn and grow and move forward. Okay, Pamela, my son can walk into a room and feel energy and tell me he sees colors of people we see at times. Has crystals in his room, but always tells me when I need to clean myself. Isn't that awesome?
Oh, he's my little buddy, Santino.
Yeah, you got to just keep encouraging him. And, of course, making sure he's praying, But if he knows Chris, I'm
so
not
cute.
Concerned.
I got him praying. I got him doing energy medicine. You should see him. He's a trip.
Okay, I'm trying to. Joy says, I got it. Thank you. I pray every day before work. I found my path helping others in an assisted living and memory care facility. Love sharing God's love and light. My energy there is crazy. Praying is my answer. He is amazing. Amen. Thank you, Joy, because that's exactly what Chris and I are saying. You just said it in another way. Thank you so much. Laugh out loud, very useful. Thank you, Sarah. Love that answer. Thank you, Pamela. Sarah, did the Landmark Leadership Program. You did. Go, girl. I did the Curriculum for Living. I was a head coach for a couple of them and wisdom course. Love that stuff. Haven't been there in about 20 years, but it lives with you and it's very powerful. So there, we just plugged another company, guys. Landmark Education. Let's see. Ask a question. I think we got another question. Chris, today is my birthday. I just happened to see a truck near home today driving by that had the last name of that girl. This is Dave. What's up with that?
She's thinking about you, boss man. You know that.
That makes
that's just like a big sign that says, "Hi, Dave. How are you?"
Yeah, signs, Dave, are so awesome. They're so obvious. It's great. They're so obvious you doubt them. You know?
I don't. I just laugh.
You don't, but people doubt it. It's like, no, that's a coincidence. No, there's more to it. And by the way, happy birthday, Dave.
Happy birthday, Dave.
All right, let's see. Imagine.
Erin's going to wear a sign. She's going to make it and wear it.
I love it. Good girl. And wear a sign that says no.
Yes. And the answer is no.
Right? Yeah.
And the answer is no.
The answer is no.
Don't ask. The answer is no.
Okay. Try finding someone you swear you've known for years and you just met. Yeah, definitely. That's somebody who's in your tribe. And that's going back to the Wayne Dyer example of being on a trolley car. You're on that car the whole time. That's one of those people that just stop in for a minute and then they get off at the next stop. They're a quick one, but they have been there before and have been a part of your life, and they are significant in some way. I love all the laughs and stuff. I'm glad we entertain you guys. All right, let's see. How to smudge and clear space. I don't know if smudging and clearing has anything that it would be something you would do. That I'm going to ask you, Chris. Would you smudge yourself to pull in energy? I mean, I wouldn't, but I'm curious, is there a technique that I don't know about that you would? You smudging.
Well, when I smudge a house, I smudge myself first, and I use a very specific technique that I teach my students to do, because when you're going to clear a space, I use the chimes, I use noise, I use sprays, I use a different magnet of energy, because you want to switch them up and down, because negative energy starts to know who and what you're going to do, and they're like, oh yeah, here she comes. So what I do is I fill it with white light, and then I start to use like noise, I use music, I use prayer, like I use the violet light meditation, which is Saint Germain, and if you play it, they basically say the rosary. But I'm Catholic, so that's what I do. You may not be Catholic, so that may not be your method. I'm just saying, get some kind of prayer, meditation tape in the background. Use some candles that remind you of something growing, whether it be flowers or earthly. Bring in a change of the environment to clear the energy. You don't have to just do meditation and grounding and smudging. There's a lot of ways to do it.
Nice.
Use your imagination, and if you can feel the energy, you know when it's shifting. And if you think you can't get it to shift, then I clear professionally, but I do it remotely.
Right.
So you just go on my website and leave me a message and we'll talk.
And the thing is, when you're trying to reclaim your energy, intention is very important. Intention is very important when you're clearing out energies, and very important when you're reclaiming energies. Mind is the builder. That's what Edgar Cayce always said, the American psychic. Mind is the builder. If you believe it, even if you don't believe it, saying it and saying it and saying it until you start noticing it happening, and then you start believing it. It's not like you have to believe it for it to happen. You just have to have the intent that it will happen. Be open to the possibility. Going back to the other woman who's going to have the powerful meeting tomorrow on the phone. It doesn't matter if you don't believe it. Just have the intent that you are open to the possibility of this being powerful, productive, awesome, best meeting I've ever had in my life. Done. Just be open to that. Your intention is set. Now the universe can give it to you. But if your intention is, you always have an intention. whether you're aware of it or not. And right now, your intention is, it's horrible. I'm going to get shut down. I hate these things. I go blank. That's what you're going to do. So be open to something else. That is so powerful. Our intention is what moves things. It is because I have a strong intention. I'm psychic. I couldn't just do these things unless I was open to knowing I'm willing to be able to do these things. When I was learning as a kid, I was like, oh, a person can do that? I guess I can. Oh, they could do that? Oh, I guess I can. Before I knew it, I was doing a lot of stuff I probably shouldn't have been doing without, I'm happy I have the more knowledge now, but it was all intent that allowed me to open up. So intention, guys, big time. So real good, this is great. Carla wants to know what the crystals are. It's the cross, and then it's selenite, and then it's a really pretty green stone. So Elena, I don't remember what this is. I just know I like it. So if you're still on, Elena, please let us know what it is and what it serves. It's green, it's smooth. I think I purchased it from you, oh my gosh, maybe 5-6 years ago. I just loved it with the selenite. I use them all the time. I like them, and I always have the cross. So
see, if I was there, I'd be able to tell you what it was, but I'm not.
Okay, so hopefully Elena will be able to tell us.
That's our other favorite.
You can't even see it probably through this.
She wrote it in the feed, and I know she likes malachite.
Oh, this might be malachite, a green one.
Yep,
yeah, malachite, baby. So that's what it is, honey. It's malachite. Okay, what's it for?
I just told you that.
Oh, what? I'm sorry.
It's malachite.
You're right.
Elena put it in there.
What's it for?
It's for healing and protection.
Okay, now that makes sense why I wear it. You wear something for so long, you kind of forget. Elena
plus it's your throat chakra, that color, and your heart chakra, because it's a blue-green.
Okay, and all my crystals, I get blessed. I don't use them unless they're blessed. If I don't get them blessed by a priest, I bless them myself with holy water.
Elena says it's balancing, focus, and heart chakra.
There you go. All right, thanks for asking. All right, y'all can add me to your resource. Oh, Erin, yeah, by the way, Erin has helped quite a few people in our little community here. So don't hesitate to contact her. You can go right through Messenger on Facebook. Erin Gray is an excellent resource, and there'll be other people on here that will confirm that she has specifically helped. And here's a great question from Erin. Okay, I have a horrible black sheep energy with my in-laws to the point they hate me on sight from the moment they met me. Oh, girlfriend, I can so relate. What energy source can I use to change it, if not permanently, but just to open a positive connection for my son's sake, if not mine? I'm going to take this if you don't mind.
That's fine.
There's a reason this came up. I mean, my in-laws are unique people, and without bashing them, it's the same situation. You cannot get another person to change the way they are. You can only change the way you are. So I send love, but I have no contact anymore. There isn't any, because that's their choice. If they're choosing to be around your son, just try to always be open to the possibility, have the intention of sending love, because you're being such a fine example to your son. Love thy neighbor, love thy enemy. And if they see you as enemy and you're loving them, what a powerful message you're showing your son. You're showing them that you can accept them for the way they are, and you're accepting them for the way they are not. They are not good in-laws. They are not caring in-laws. They don't give two hoots about you in-laws. They're not worth the time of day in-laws, but you love them anyway. What a lesson you're teaching your son.
And I just heard in my head, love not the least of my children. So if you love them, even though that they don't love you. God is watching, and he's taking that into account, that they don't love you, but you're doing the right thing.
And you're showing your children, your son. I mean, it's huge. That's huge. If we all could do that, what a different world we would live in. It's not easy. And I think it's easy for me to love my in-laws because they have nothing to do with me. I think if they were in my house on a regular basis, it would be a much more difficult task. It would be a much more difficult task because I might hit one. No, no, I would never do that. Oh. So it's a challenge. I mean, I'm making it sound easy, but I'm not facing them regularly like you are. When I was facing them regularly, and they were a major divide in my family, and I had to have my children go and be with them, it was extremely painful and extremely difficult. But I did my best not to badmouth them, talk evil, or anything else, because I knew I wouldn't be serving my family and I wouldn't be serving my God. And that's where our power comes from. It comes from God, and so we have to honor him in our deeds also. Okay, that was a tough question. Boy, let's hope my in-laws never see that.
I love my father-in-law. He's just a doll baby.
He is.
I go through withdrawals if I don't get to see him in time.
Okay,
my kids will tell you they'll run away. She'll run away and leave us to go see Grandpa. They do.
Oh, Nilda. See, I said it right.
Nilda's back.
Hey, baby, I'm glad you're on board. Margie, the early comment about smudging and clearing was for when you ask about subjects for future classes. Oh, okay, sweetie. Well, all right, I'm going to drop that into the questions so that you guys can vote if that's a good one. Thank you. So we're going to put, do you want a class on smudging and clearing? So this way we can see. Now, guys, take a look at those questions. Please pull them up and, click on the ones that you like. And those are the ones we're going to go after. Oh, my gosh. It's 3 minutes and we're done. Dave, I love this. In the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Amen to that. Again, tell us your city and state so Chris and I can do a gallery read for you guys. Please join me on Facebook and YouTube for the morning meditations. We have a great time. It's 10 minutes, but it's usually about an 8.5 minute meditation. It's a great way to start your day. Other than that, anything you want to say, my good friend, my dear, dear tribe? Part of my tribe.
Tribe mate? No, I just celebrate
my tribe.
Your tribe sister. I got to bring my crown next week.
That'll be fun.
I have my crown. And everybody has to vote on city and state. Come on.
Yeah, do that. And
Aaron's the only one that's voting. We're going to end up in Ohio, folks, in our backyard.
Anyway,
pitch a tent.
That's really it for tonight's show, guys. Thank you so much for joining us and have a very blessed evening.
Did I mention Ohio? Yes, Aaron, we got you, girlfriend.
It's 1 vote per show per person. So Aaron can vote for Ohio 10 times.
Come on, Melinda. Where are you at, girlfriend? Where's your city and state? Come on, people. We got 30 seconds before she shuts you off.
All right, we'll give you a few more seconds to get your city and state in there. Come on, somebody from Atlantic City, New Jersey. I love the shore. Somebody put it in there. Come on, come on. Nobody voted for that this week. Can I? Oh, I'm looking at Facebook, and Carol McFillan did vote Atlantic City, New Jersey. She doesn't realize that she's not inside this network, but I will be counting the ones off of the system who did not log in. Thank you.
Fredericksburg, Virginia. There you go.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Again, Chris and I are so honored that you join us like this. This is so much fun. Thank you, and have a great night. You want to say goodnight,
Thanks,
Chris?
everyone. Bye, Dave. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Dave. Bye-bye.